retired, there's been a major shift, not from what we need and crave, but from the ability to actually communicate it.
Yeah, and I wasn't suggesting that you were at the FBI in the 40s. I just want to make that clear. I just find it so weird and so sad that we've reached this point. And I've seen so many lies, frankly, about Charlie Kirk on social media from people who apparently just...
All right, welcome in. Hey, Laughs. Ozzy Crosby, hello. Come on in.
It is, and that's what's great about Charlie.
God bless everybody.
Ask the question with that great curiosity.
Yeah, you did.
All right,
Good to have you on. Thank you.
kick back on this one. We're going to be live for about an hour. Thank you so much for being here. I'm a little earlier. My wife, we got a birthday, my birthday today. She wants to cut the cake and then later on do a little live. Hey, Laughs, thank you. Appreciate it. Yep, big 59. Going strong, Laughs. Thank you. Thank you so much for 5 months. Not 1 month, not 2, but 5. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Joe Childs, I hope you had a great birthday, a good day. Always a pleasure to see you, sir. Thank you so much for all your support. And Robert, what's going on, Robert? Sit back, guys. We're going to get into this. Let me just say this. You know, I am not a doctor. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm just a personal trainer and nutritionist. But I'm going to get into what's going on now. What in the world just changed on this Saturday? Hold on one second. Hold on one second. So, who is Lance? Who is Lance Twiggs? Lance Twiggs. Let me just pin this up here real quick. Crystal, thank you so much for being here. I'm not going to be long today, guys. Maybe an hour. What changes my age, as my mom is calling me right now? All right. We got a lot of stuff coming in. All right. Here we go. Listen, the way I was raised from my mom is I don't judge. And I am still not judging. There's some great, look, there's good and bad of all types, right? All religions. And I'm going to say something right now. I am, thank you, Crystal, so much. I am 100% not against transgender. That's right. I'm not. I have to agree on them transgender people playing into the sports. This transgender Lance Twiggs, roommate, lover, there's nothing wrong with that. He actually turned into the authorities. He actually called the father from my sources, and the father goes, who is this? He's, I am the lover of your son. And then they, as a partner, roommate, lover, they together, the father turned into the authorities. Hello, everybody. I'm Sal. Now, I'm going to go deep into this. First of all, may Charlie Kirk rest in peace. And it's unfair for the father or anybody else be judged right now. Now, the question is, what has changed is I turned 59. No, what has changed is, will Lance Twiggs be held accountable for any of this crime? I don't know. I would say at this point, and what you're looking at here is the jail. This is the jail behind here. This is the jail where Tyler Robinson is at. So Tyler Robinson is there. That's the jail right here. I'm gonna give you a little better look here. Let's see here what we got. So this is. So he's in there, and the authorities, the FBI, are going to really go after him and see what they can get. But on social media, they are on really watching. And I'm going to get into some things like this. Did social media go too far? In the chat, yes or no? Because we know that social media does a lot of good, right? It brings in friends on YouTube, Facebook, interact. Sometimes you see this. It's good. But I don't remember, in my generation, we didn't have cell phones. I'm going to try to make a point as quick as I can. We had these things, but not like this. So now we have all these types of people and followers, but I can tell you here what happened. So I say mental illness in the Tyler Robinson. No, here's what we have. His parents were Republicans. Father, a police officer, mother, a social worker. Hardworking, conservative way people, right? the son was raised Republican, but who is raised? You know what I mean? Like my kids are all mixed up. Who's a Democrat? Who's a conservative? Who doesn't care? You know, you can't push. But he was just, you know, a regular teenager growing up, and then, found himself as being, like in whatever, gay. You know, I can't really figure out this transgender too much, guys. Maybe you can help me out. And I'm not against it, but I get the gay, straight, confused when you're young. And, sometimes, and I'm not blaming the parents, you're afraid to open up to your parents. Let's be honest. And I'm not justifying what this man did. He should be penalized. I'm not going to get into the death sentence and all. That's not up to me. But what happens is they're afraid to open up, particularly to a Mormon family, because they were Mormons. And, Mormon family, very faith. Nothing against Catholics. I'm Catholic. But they're very committed. And I think what happened was, as he got older, he opened up and was afraid. Let's just be honest. He was afraid to open up to his parents. Had nowhere else to go and fell in love with this transgender. Now, I say transgender because of this. You ready? Lance Twiggs, excuse me, guys. Lance Twiggs was in the process. I promise you I'll read your message, guys. He was in the process of transitioning from a male body to a female. Now, by the way, read Crystal's pin. Please let's not judge on anything on here. We know this guy is allegedly looks like he's guilty. And when I say he, let me clarify, Tyler Robertson, not Lance Twiggs. And let's try not to judge. I can't figure out the whole transgender. But I'm not particularly against it. I just said what I feel, my views, like Charlie Kirk. I don't think this should be in men's sports. And I certainly disagree on how they're looked down to, because let me just tell you something right now. Blacks are looked down to. Gays are looked down to. Hillbillies are looked down to. Women are looked down to. Men, Italians, way back, were looked down to, called greaseballs. Let's get that out there. All right. Felons, say what it is. Felons. So when they say they're I'm sorry, I disagree with that. I disagree with that. Republicans are looked down to. Democrats are looked down to, so on and so forth. So I want to get that out there. So Charlie Kirk didn't do anything wrong. Okay, I was up to 3 o'clock in the morning, guys. Hello, everybody. I'm Sal, and happy September 13th. Hey, if you want to sit back and get a glass of wine with me, or if you can drink, salute and celebrate my birthday. I will be on tonight again. So thank you. I appreciate all the birthday wishes out through the week. I thank God every day. I made 59 years old, and it's a blessing. Every day I'm alive. It's a blessing for everybody on here. Try not to worry about the small stuff and always kind of stay focused as best you can. So salute. Now, so this is where he's being held, detained, right here. This is in Utah jail. He's there. He'll be there, prosecuted, and then they're going to try to get as much information. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Appreciate it, guys. And I'll read some comments. But so right now, it's a fact that he was in the process of transitioning into a male to a female. FBI is investigating 22-year-old Lance Twiggs. Lance Twiggs, Twiggs, if you want to look him up. Here's a photo of him right here. Again, let's not judge. This is him right here. Let me get out of the way. I still haven't got my laptop. This is a photo of Lance Twiggs transitioning into a female. And who is he? This is Tyler Robertson's lover, who assassinated and took out Charlie Kirk at the age of 31, much too young, a motivated speaker who would mention a lot about transgenders, but he never really said he hate. I watch a lot of videos. He never really said that he was, his values were, for him, Charlie Kirk, he was like, his thoughts were against. Now, I am not. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, nobody should be shot down in a rally who is preaching, motivator, religion, conservative ways and values, opening up and listening to Democrats and whoever. So let's get that out there. But this is him right here. I found some video of him playing a piano. I don't want to show it. He was a young kid. I don't think we should judge. And I say right now that this man, this transgender, right? Right now behind me is, I'm sure, being questioning body authorities. Why is he being questioned? Well, he lived with them. He lived with them. If I do something, what's that? If I would, God forbid, if I'd done something wrong, I live with my wife. Well, she's going to be talked to. So this transgender, how about this? How about I just say Lance Twiggs? This Lance Twiggs will be questioned. Now, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. I think Kirk had drugs in his system. Thank you for your comment. Appreciate it. And thank you for your donation. Yeah, I didn't hear anything of that. I'm not saying you're wrong. And be free to open up into the chat like somebody just did. And let us know if you heard anything different. But what I'm hearing from news outlets and some of my sources and friends of mine in Utah, that he called Lawrence Twiggs, called the family member, father, police officer, and said, hey, I am Lance Twiggs. Your son's been living with me for, I believe, doesn't say how long they've been living, but they lived in a three-bedroom apartment, beautiful place. And he called and said, I believe your son had something to do with Mr. Charlie Kirk assassination. And that's where we're at. Then the father called up. It's a Mormon family. And by the way, can I just say this? And I'll read comments, I promise. Can I say this? So we've seen Italians do this recently. Mangione. We've seen gays, transgenders, blacks, Hispanics, females, males, all types of people. So we can't just say all transgenders are going to do these horrific, but let's be honest. For me, it's unfair. It's unfair. However, with the social media, did we go too far? Because I think they have these groups out there, transgender groups, Italian groups, Irish groups, hillbilly groups. Thank you, Ozzy. I appreciate it. Thank you for that generous gift last night, Ozzy. I got something I'm going to drink tonight if you're able to drink. Thank you so much. And of course, Ozzy, I also forwarded over, helped out some homeless today. And I got a cigar too, Ozzy. So I hope you don't mind. I got a good cigar and some makers and my mom some. So thank you so much for that last night. Now, so we shouldn't sit here and judge. Hello, Janine. I'm going to just take a small break and welcome in all the memberships. Goose, welcome in. Appreciate the moderators, starting from Crystal and Isabel, behind the scenes. Shout out to Aaron, behind the scenes, and Janine and Mike N. I think I seen Richard pop in. I don't know if Fabian's here, but whoever's here is the moderators. Once again, thank you for making it a great birthday, another good year as our channel is continuing to grow, and it's not unnoticed because I could not do this without you. But again, I don't want to judge on transgenders because, hey, that's not fair to say they're all the same. So let's just get that out. So anyhow, they lived in this 3-bedroom apartment. I don't know how many years. They were both around 22 years old. But the problem is, what made him click to take down a conservative, motivated, religious Charlie Kirk? And the answer is obvious. The motive is obvious. The motive is this. He loved his partner. Hey, Paul, how are you? He loved his partner, okay? Loved him, and then obvious took all his frustrations out on Charlie Kirk. Why? Well, we can say mental illness. We can say ran away from his family. You can't point fingers. That's not the family's fault. You can't even at this time blame the partner transgender. But what I'm trying to say is the social media and some of these chat rooms, Discord, Facebook, whatever, YouTube, they, it's not good. They become like a cult. And doesn't mean that everybody in the chat room, that everybody's going to go crazy. No, of course not. But a percentage, and I don't know what percentage, will lead to these violent crimes of hate and taking out a beautiful person, Charlie Kirk. And, you know, we see it with Donald Trump. LGBT for Trump, hello. Speaking of Trump, we've seen it on Donald Trump, assassination attempt. Same situation. Well, we didn't get the correct motive. I don't know why. I think they need to work on that, but I'm going off topic, but on topic, but same situation. Hate on Trump, you know, probably in chat rooms, pressure from other people, from other countries, led to assassination attempt on Donald Trump's ear and millimeters away from taking his life. So, yeah, I mean, it's a very serious, somebody said serious, a very serious situation going on in America right now. And I don't remember this happening in the 60s and 70s when I grew up. Does anybody at my age, a couple years younger or older, feel that this happened like this? No. Hell no. No way at all. I said I played sports, and I was pretty good. And I welcome anybody. If you were gay, black, white, Italian, if you could play the game, you played the game. If you couldn't play the game, take a sideline. But there was no judging. We would fight and lift them up. I said this many times. We need to bring that back. And I said yesterday, we need somebody who's young to change this and not particularly judge. Look, it's not my thing, transgender. I can't understand it. But, you know, we gotta put a stop on, we gotta have more communication. And I believe there's got to be some guidelines on some of these chat rooms. There's got to be some guidelines. The AI system needs to crack down. I mean, they got to crack down and watch and evaluate situations on hate. And also hate on Donald Trump, like dictator, Hitler, Nazi. They should evaluate that and see those words. I don't mean I'll penalize them, but keep an eye on that person. Say, whoa, 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 whoa. This person's on this chat room calling Trump Hitler. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. This person's over here. Well, now he's saying he could do harm. And then they need to reach out to the local police and figure out who this guy or woman is and pull him in before it's worse and get him counseling. Same thing with the transgenders chat rooms. Same thing with, we'll go with me, Italian chat rooms, anything. Altifa, whatever it might be, that needs to change. Now, will that help 100%? Will that help 100%? No. Hello, everybody. If you're coming in now, we are discussing the partner, transgender lover that Lance Twiggs, that Tyler Robertson lived with for I don't know how long in a 3-bedroom apartment, as the parents were raised Republicans, and Tyler Robertson was raised a Republican, and then decided to run into Charlie Kirk and listen to him. At the same time, he was involved with a partner who so happened was in a transition of being a transgender, and there you have the motive, and decided to take all his frustrations out on Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk would talk about transgender, and he was pretty much, not for it, and his reasons why, and this, that, whatever. And that's what you had that led to this. What a damn shame. This probably could have been stopped. This could have been stopped. It really could. So I do blame some of the news, chat rooms, and a lot more. Now, can you blame the parents? I don't know. That's up to you guys. I don't know. If the father turned him in, I don't know how he'll be prosecuted. If the father and mother turned in him, how do you arrest the parents? Unless the parents, they can find information that the parents were behind it. At this time, you can't blame the parents who were, one was a police officer and the mother was a social worker. They were Republicans. and they raised their son as a Republican, and then it's not about switching. Listen, by the way, can I say this? There's people on here all the time who won't admit that were Democrats are now Republicans, that were young Democrats, and vice versa. There are people that were raised Republicans and became Democrats. So what? I don't understand it right now in this party. What the hell's going on? Democrat Party. But that doesn't mean that they're bad. So let's just be honest. Now, the party of the Democrat right now, I'm confused, and it's upside down, 90% of them. And I said this yesterday, right? Some of them I think want to be better people, but they're scared to become a coal. But there's nothing wrong with if you're 21 years old and you're a Republican and you became a Democrat, that doesn't mean that you're hating the country. So I want to be honest today. Or if you're a Democrat like Charlie Kirk, not him as being a Democrat, and spoke, and it was an influence for me to get Donald Trump to be the president. There's no doubt that Charlie Kirk had a big influence on Donald Trump winning on a landslide. And you were Democrat, now you're Republican. So what? There should no be hate on that. But I think what happens is, particularly in our youth, well, wait a minute, not just youth, there's people my age, and I'm 59 today, that hate. And that's fine. But hate to put hateful words, now we're getting the look. And then from the words to punch and harass and attack and follow me to my car and then commit a crime and then even worse, take somebody's life. Whoa, that needs to stop. And that's where we are on this September 13th, 2025. And yes, I am drinking a little early, but it is my birthday, and I wanted to share a little wine with everybody. So yes, I am having a little wine. Now, with that said, I'm going to reach into the chat room. Hey, thank you so much for being here. It's just my thoughts, guy, by the way. And I know these are my thoughts. You have your thoughts. That's where I stand. Okay? And I'm just saying it as it is. 8 shootings less. Patricia, welcome in. Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much. Richard's in the house. Say a shout out to Richard, our moderator. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I just want to, look, I've been around for a while. I meet people that are getting, and by the way, I can say this because I got permission from Aaron. Aaron is a client of mine, a friend of mine. Aaron is gay, okay? He's gay. He's a conservative. I got permission. He is against, these are his words, he's against the transgender, hold on, at a young age. He says, it takes time. These were his words. I got 100% permission. He goes, after you, he didn't say what age you should do it, but anyhow, certainly he thought that Lance Twiggs was too young. I know he's 20. These were his thoughts coming from somebody who is gay. All right. And I've also talked to other people, straight and gay. And majority of them feel the same way. You're still trying to find your identity. So I'm not going to get involved with that. I already told you my thoughts, and I'm going to say it right there on that situation. But once again, it's not fair to just point out there's one type of people, because I'm going to say it again. Luigi Mangione, okay? He was Italian, because my uncle, we're Italian. You never see Italians do that stuff, only in mob. Guess what? Luigi Mangione, he did it. Wrong. We've seen blacks do it. We've seen Spanish people, Mormons, Catholics, hillbillies. We've seen women. We've seen all types. So it just so happened now we're seeing more of, lately, of these transgender shootings leading to deaths. And I'm blaming some of that on, well, first of all, the person who did it is the blame, right? I mean, this Tyler Robertson. But I have to say, yes or no in the chat. Yes or no in the chat. Do we blame some of the open chats of different chats and live chats and Facebook and this kind of stuff? Do they take blame? Do you blame CNN? Because, CNN has, kind of bullied Trump. Let's be honest. Yes? I mean, does CNN responsible of some of this? And The View. I'm getting some no's on here. I'm just asking. Somebody blames Trump. A couple yeses, a couple no's. See? That's great. Not everybody agrees, and, not everybody should agree. All right. Somebody blames Biden. Somebody blame me. A lot of blame going on, right? A lot of blame. A lot of blame. But the person who did this and who's going to probably get most likely the death penalty, because in Utah, they haven't had one in 15 years, will never see the light, will be this Tyler. This Tyler Robinson, who did this horrific act, who was a Mormon, raised Republican, smart young man, well educated, decided to find his identity and got and fell in love with this Lance Twiggs, who's in the process of being a woman, and hated on Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk had his views on transgenders, among other things, open borders, this, that, whatever. But it really led to the transgender of Charlie Kirk. But did he deserve to? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. And how the hell can some people who got fired on CNBC because they're saying he deserved it? If somebody says he deserves it, I don't care if Charlie Kirk was a Democrat, Republican, Independent, or anybody, a human being. Nobody deserves that. You deserve to protect yourself in the house. If somebody comes in to rob you, hurt your family, there, defense. You're walking down an alley and somebody tries to hurt you. That's self-defense. You're protecting yourself. But to go out and do these crimes, for what? For what? Why didn't he just not listen to Charlie Kirk? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for 87 likes. I appreciate it. Why didn't he just turn off the YouTube and the social media and don't go to these events? Why didn't he just tell his mom and dad, I'm living with Twigs. I'm gay, or I'm a transgender. I'm living with a transgender. Why didn't he just come out and say it? Or not say it and continue his life with this partner. Let's just say partner. Whatever the hell you want to call it. And then everything would have been okay. Charlie Kirk will be alive, motivating, speaking today, speaking tomorrow, whenever he speaks, and everything would have been good. And for Tyler Robinson and his family, the family would have been devastated. They would have to deal and accept or not accept their son. And that's the way this world should be. You should never, ever lose your life. We're all going to die, but not like that. So I'm here to say spread awareness. Watch your kids on the social media. But even more than that, watch yourself on social media. So the wife spoke yesterday, Charlie Kirk's wife. I got a brain freeze on her name again. But his wife spoke, tear dropping. We've seen some of it. You've seen it. She was hurt and strong. She just because you took my husband away, oh, it's going to be louder and clearer. Meaning she, the wife, and I forget her name. Thank you, Erica. Erica, thank you for putting Erica. Thank you so much, Janine, and thank you, those Erica. Sorry, yeah, Erica. She says we're going to be stronger. Erica said we're going to be stronger. We, her, the producer of Charlie Kirk, all conservatives, we're going to be stronger and voice our views. Even though we might not be you might not agree, or we might not be always correct. Well, we're going to be louder and clearer to voice our views, which on the other side should be too. And not anybody should be harassed or taken out. So you watch, and I think Charlie Kirk is in heaven, because I believe in heaven, and I don't think anything's wrong with that. If you don't believe, I said it over and over. Janine Lemon J can witness, and Mike M can witness this. I don't judge. And he's looking down in heaven, and he's saying, go get him. Go get him, guys. Do the speaking for me. Erica, do it for me, Erica. The producer, his friends, do it for me. The Joe Rogans, the Ben Shapiro, whoever, the Charlie Garners, the Sal Capano, whoever is conservative who wants to speak their values of America way. That's what it is. American way. Common sense is why Trump won. Common sense. That's all it is. I don't think I've ever heard Donald Trump say, I hate so on, and so I hate Italians. I hate gays. As YMCA there, I hate transgender. He's never said that. But what happens is, because he says, take the men out of women's sports, they be going on social media and CNN and hearing that he hates on transgender people. No. And nobody, I've never heard any of that. Maybe some people out there are saying it, but not either one of them. Or I have to go a little farther. I haven't heard any of the politicians, Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, or anybody else. It might not be their cup of tea, but I've never. But again, they hear what they want to hear. And when they go on these chat rooms, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't help. And I'm sorry, but some of these chat rooms, if they said some terrible things encouraging the hate on Charlie Kirk, then guess what? They should prosecute them too. And I don't mean life in prison. I don't know. But they should be held responsible somewhere. They should get a jail or fine. That's how you stop this. That's how you stop this. Tyler Robertson did this, but he was being pounded and pounded by some of these chat rooms, and it's going to come out. And they should be prosecuted and held responsible for at least, if they use such words of, go ahead, do it. Maybe not words like, I'm with you, but they're going to look at certain words. Go ahead, go forward, I would. Those kind of words are going to be looked at very carefully from FBI, Kash Patel. And for me, I feel they should be held responsible. It's almost like if somebody goes in a house and robs the house and takes somebody's life, and you're the driver and it's going to happen, you're involved. You drove the person to the house. You didn't actually do it, but you're part of it. No? So I think they're going to be looking at that. Now, not everybody in that chat, but I'm sure they're going to take a look at it. I'm sure. Discord. It was called Discord. And by the way, Discord, I've never used it. I know somebody used it. I'm not against it. But this is not their first rodeo either. So they're going to be somehow investigated. There are going to be some criteria changed on Discord as well. Probably even some changes on YouTube. Facebook. Facebook Live. Don't they have a live? Might be some changes in Twitter. X. But anyhow, that's where I go with this whole thing. I appreciate everybody being here on this Saturday. And I got to tell you, he's sitting there in a jail right now, Tyler Robinson. And like blanked, like no shame. But that, for those who are just coming in, Tyler Robinson, who assassinated Mr. Charlie Kirk, may he rest in peace and be an angel for all of us. All of us. His partner, lover, Lance Twiggs, he lived with, I don't know how long, was a transgender. He was in the process of transitioning over to a woman, male to female, and he actually told the authorities, or told the father, that my lover did this horrific crime. I don't know those exact words, and we need to turn him in. And then the father, who's a police officer, said, "Oh, okay." And then Mormon family, and got to be tough for the family too. Got to be tough. At the same time, I'm hearing sources that they're going to be taking a look at the father and the mother very closely to see if there's any kind of involvement on their end. At this point, they're just a family who raised a son the best they can, and the son just went another direction. And when I say another direction, I don't mean another direction by being gay or falling in love with a transgender. He went in another, and I don't mean going from Republican to Democrat. I meant another direction and going cuckoo into these chat rooms and being brainwashed and taking out a beautiful person, 31 years old, Charlie Kirk. All right, what we got here? I'll read some comments here. What's up, Canada? Hey, Robert, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome in, everybody. If you're new, like and subscribe, and let us know if you feel comfortable that you're new and where you're coming in from, and what's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts? Do I have it backwards? Am I wrong? Now, some of these comments that I won't even read that are hateful, you can disagree all you want, but to say horrible things about a man who just lost his life, I will not tolerate it. Matter of fact, YouTube are reading the messages. And, of course, my moderators aren't going to tolerate it either. So be careful what you say. If you want to disagree, that's fine. Want to disagree, that's fine. If anybody says those things about Charlie Kirk, I'm not going to repeat. I will say this. You are lost in so many ways. You are just got no heart. You need to find yourself, and I pray for you. Really do. Pray that you can fix yourself. Hey, Paul, how are you? Hello, everybody. Those who are saying hi, welcome in. Well, here we are on a Saturday, couple days after this. 2 kids are going to grow up with no father, a wife, a widow. But she's strong. You know why? Because she has faith. She believes. She believes. And she said it. I'm going to be louder now. I think the words were louder. Were they louder, Janine? Ozzy? I think she said the word louder now, Mike, right? She'll be louder now. Powerful and than ever than her husband. Meaning, I'm assuming her voice will be Charlie Kirk's voice, the producer, and other people that work with Charlie. Louder. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. We're going to be louder now. And I think she's also telling all of us to stand behind our views. I know I am. And you should too. Whatever your view is, as long as you're not, causing hate. Charlie Kirk never caused hate. He smiled. Did anybody watch his videos? He smiled. He had the mic for him. Come up and talk. Give it to me, he would say. Well, he didn't say give it to me, but, talk. Let me hear you. I watched a lot of his videos, not all. He has a lot, but I watched a lot of them, and I didn't hear any of them say he smiled. He never said sit down. In fact, he even called one guy who looked like the shooter up to the mic with a. Did anybody see that with a horn? He had a horn, and the guy came up, and he never said like sit down. I think security pushed him away, but they never like told him to leave and hate on him. Turning point. It was a turning point. Turning America to common sense. Just like Donald Trump, just like Marco Rubio, just like J.D. Vance. Majority of the conservatives to this day. Turning point. American ways. Work on issues on both sides. How did we get like this? But yeah, you're looking at the jail that he'll never see daylight again. He'll never see daylight again. Not at all. That's Tyler Robinson. I guess that was taken recently in his apartment. He looked innocent there, didn't he? He looked innocent there, huh? What was going through his head right there? What was going through his head there? Was he already thinking about doing this? Yes or no in the chat. Was he thinking about this a year ago, a month ago, or less? A young man, Mormon family, raised Republican, raised conservative, trying to find his identity, in life, was afraid to go to his mom and dad, fell in love with a man who's now in a transition being a woman, and that's fine. I mean, I don't understand it, but to go as far as, live your life. Yes or no? Live your life the way you want to live it. Live your life the way you want to live it, but don't take out and crucify anybody. What went wrong in the chat? What do you think went wrong, guys? What went wrong with this man, this young man? In the chat, what do you think? What went wrong? Think the family was just because they're Mormons, not the family's fault. Let me just say that. Mental health? What went wrong? Brainwashed by the media? I agree with that. I agree with that comment. 100%. Social media? Yep. Social media. Mental illness, social media, combination. Maybe just snapped. Maybe just snapped. Nothing wrong with that comment. Could be right. That comment could be right too. Gaming. The gaming, I'm not going to buy into. Playing games and shooting and all that, race cars, I have a problem, that's just my opinion, thinking that gaming has a problem with that. Too much gaming is not good, but it doesn't mean you're going to be a assassination. You're going to take somebody out. I'm not buying into that. My opinion. I don't think playing too much of, doing too much of anything can't be good, but I don't think it's going to lead to your mind flipping. That's my thoughts. Sometimes debates. Jesus knows you. I think Jesus knows us all. Israel? What did Israel have anything to do with it? Did Israel have something to do with it? I'm reading comments here. Thank you, Janine. God bless America. All kinds of different comments. Hey, I appreciate all the comments, but read Crystal's message. See Rich 026. It's pinned there in the comment. Read that. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Be free to interact with each other, but let's not hate or threaten. What was that about the Mormon religion? The Mormon religion is very strict. Yes. Very strict. That's why I say. Yes, Ozzy. But I mean, my son plays a lot of these. He works and plays the game, but doesn't mean he's going to go out and do those things. Is what I'm trying to say. No, too much of anything can't be real good. But just my opinion. I don't think it can make them. It will not lead to horrific crime like that. It's just my opinion. But if you're suffering from some kind of a mental illness, in this case, it clearly was, and then was trying to find his identity, fell in love with this man who's now a woman, or transitioned to be a woman, and coming from, like somebody said, a strict Mormon family or Catholic family or whatever, and no excuse at all. Please don't misunderstand me. Had nowhere to go, and led to this. But social media, he thought people on social media were there to help him. But except for helping him, they were a very bad influence, in my opinion, my view, and leading up to this is what I'm trying to say. But that's just my thought. That's just my thought. Thank you for that donation. Appreciate it. Tanisa, silence of innocent babies being starved and students being erased. An outrage for the Confederate. It's mega on mega crime. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for your comment. Appreciate you. Everybody has different views. Just my opinion on this thing. Again, there's no excuse. And what you're looking at is this guy here who took Charlie Kirk's life. This Tyler Robinson. I just think, maybe if he wasn't on Discord or social media, just maybe this still happens, right? And we don't know. All I'm trying to say is, I think too much of anything or too much on the social media in this particular case, it certainly didn't help. We can agree on that. It certainly could not help. Did I see the video? Yes, I've seen the video. The video, yes, I've seen it twice. You're alluding to the Charlie Kirk assassination. I've seen it. Here's a comment I want to read here. Thank you, Katrina Brooks. I think I'm going to read this one. Find love, find faith, and forgiveness. Find what we all have in common. Wow. Interesting. I see here. Mike, social media is a huge problem with what we are seeing. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is, Mike. We have another mic in here. We have several mics. I think it is. I think you're correct. That's why what I say is we should spend time with ourselves first, whether you're married, you have a partner, whatever your cup of tea is, not married, single, maybe with grandkids. Most important is yourself first. You got to find your identity. Humanity is about all we have. Amen, Ozzy. Amen. But I always say, spend time with yourself first. You guys understand that? Have that break by yourself. I don't have all the answers. Then your wife, your husband, your partner, your lover, whoever, and then your kids, your grandkids, or reverse order if you have grandkids first, then parent. And then if you don't have that, the animals, whatever is in your environment. Oh, seriously. And then once you do that, and you got time left after working, cleaning, you go on social media. Socialize. Find a channel you like. Republican channel, Democrat channel, gay channel, cooking channel, whatever it might be. Straight channel, I don't know. And then interact with people. Mustang Mike, how are you? And then interact. But there's a time and a limit. No? Or yes? I don't know. I know my kids, they take time. My son took a time out on the games. Phones, too, itself. Just like I'm guilty. I mean, I find myself going to the movies. And I'm wrong. And I'm turning on watching the scores of a game that I have a few dollar bet on. Like I'm going to be a millionaire. And I'm looking at the scores. And I'm looking at my comments on YouTube that I respond. At a movie theater or at dinner. That's wrong. I got to do better. I got to turn that damn phone off. Unless, of course, I'm waiting for a call from my mom or somebody's ill, right? I got to do a better job. So we all got to kind of reprogram. But again, even with all that said, and we do spend time on social media and all, it still doesn't mean we're going to be somebody to take somebody's life. Let's just be honest, right? But in this case, it was a like somebody says, Mormon, strict religion, had some mental illness, was living with a transgender, a man becoming a woman, and two young, around 22 years old, one decided to take out Charlie Kirk. The other, Lance Twiggs, decided to call father and authorities, hey, Craig, how are you? And say, hey, we got to turn him in. And that's where we're at right now. And let me go back to, that's him right there. Well, him, her, I guess, transitioning. Right there. And I'm sure they're going to take a look. But according to Saturday, September 13th, he was one to give the location, the call to the father and the family to locate and call authorities of Tyler Robinson, who Tyler was the roommate / boyfriend or lover of this horrific crime. Wow. So I'm not going to sit here and discuss the face or anything like that. And now he's there. And he has no lover. He not going to see his mom and dad. Or not like that. And possibly Utah and get the death penalty. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on all of this, guys? Hey, thank you. Whoa, we got 219 likes. Incredible. Thank you so very much for liking these lives. Appreciate it so very, very much. Thank you for all the shorts and subscribing to the homeless shorts. Thank you so much for the donations today and yesterday. Thank you all moderators. I'm just giving you my view. I don't have all the answers. Disagree with me at any time. But as our moderator pinned on there, I think it was a great pin. Please remember to like and subscribe. We thank Crystal for that to the live. Please respect and no hate speech against the chat or host. Disrespectful comments will be timed out and removed. So thank you, Crystal, our loyal subscriber and moderator, who was nice enough to take her time and effort to put that in there. And that's just common sense. Mike, thank you so much for putting a membership for $1.99. Yes, and by the way, once again, thank you, Mike. And the membership, we We're fortunate enough to forward that over and help out the homeless when me and Maribel can, which we do almost every day. So thank you, everybody. There's a possibility I'll be on tonight. Maybe we'll have some birthday cake, celebrate anybody's birthday today, including mine. I enjoy my birthday. I say to everybody, you should enjoy your birthday. It only comes once a day. Enjoy a few days. If you're able to drink and drink, do what you enjoy. Don't hurt anybody. Tough week. Tough week for all of us. I mean, tough week for Erica, the wife. Tough week. Going to be very difficult for these young kids to grow up. They don't understand right now what's going on. Thank you, Sherry K. And Sherry, thank you for that membership. Yeah, the man had 2 small children. Well, what did I say? Once a day birthday? Yeah, once a year. Did I say once a day? Once a year? If I said once a day, maybe a little too much wine. Thank you for correcting me. Welcome in. Hello, Jack. Hello, Pat. Appreciate everybody. Everybody has different views on this. But one thing we can all agree on, right? That this person, this Charlie Kirk, whether you agreed on his views or disagreed, he should be alive today on this Saturday. So, oh, Pat, that's your opinion. Pat, that's your opinion. I don't judge. Connie, thank you for that comment. Jersey, Dion, appreciate you. Thank you. Is it Heath? Did I pronounce that right? Thank you for that comment. Sorry for some of the pronunciations. Yeah. Thank you for those subbing, subscribing to the channel today. Hey, shout out to the other YouTube channels that are voicing their opinion on this today. Give them some love and a like. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate you, Richard. Thank you so much for everything you do. What is the photo? The photo is a jail where he's being held at until he goes to prison. Of Tyler Robinson. This is a jail. Utah jail. I'm 59 today, KMM. Game over for the Democrats? Probably so. Midterms, is that what you were saying? Somebody said? Hey, Lemonhead, thank you. Appreciate you, Lemonhead. Richard, thank you for doing that. I seen that. That very bad comment there. Thank you, Janine. Of course, thank you, Mike. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm reading some of these comments, and, you know, really, those are, some of these comments are good comments, you know. Some I agree, I disagree. Denise, hello. Shout out to Jersey, Dion. Turbo, shout out to Turbo. Hello, Pat. James, how are you, James? Good to see you. Good to see you, James. Hello, Connie. Yeah, I agree. Randall, what's going on, my friend? Shout out to Randall. 57 years old or young. God bless. God bless you. Yeah, rest in peace, Charlie. Cheers in Boston. Salute in Boston. I'll be in Maine in a couple weeks, close to Boston. Better call Saul. But I'm Sal. Thought I was 40. Charles, shout out to Charles twice. Charles twice. Thought I was 40. Let me pin that comment. Thank you, Charlie. Ah, nice words. God bless everybody in the chat. What beautiful words there from Jersey Dion. You know he's from Jersey. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for all your support. Thanks for all the great comments, even the ones that disagree. Great comment. Great comment. Everybody has their different views. When am I running for office? Maybe mayor. We'll see. Fine Home Painting. Love the name. What's going on? Thank you, Amy. D, what's going on? Thank you, D. God bless you, Matthew. God bless you, Matthew Chang. 38 years young. This is Marlo Brando's wine. My mom found some kind of wine that he had, and shout out to my mom for sending me 24 bottles of wine. Question is, should I drink them all? Yeah, Marlon Brando from The Godfather. She found some wine and he had his label on it. Got the white and got the red as well. And got Maker's Mark. Generous gift from Ozzy. And got a cigar or two. Fine Home Painting. Quick summary of the video, please. Absolutely. So, what we have here was, let's see if I can do this here. Well, no, that's not going to help. So, all right, so I'll get away. What we have on this Saturday, September 13th. So, Tyler Robinson, the shooter of Charlie Kirk, evidently, today's news, September 13th, this Lance Twiggs is a transgender, was a man in transition to be a woman, and was living with him, and he actually called the father authorities and said, hey, I know who did this crime. And they've been living together in a 3-bedroom apartment in Utah, and he turned them in. And we were just discussing on social media, brief on, are they part blame of this? Some of the news outlets. And we're finding more of the motive on why he did it. Because Charlie Kirk, and I'll repeat, I don't think Charlie Kirk was against transgender. He was just expressing his views on men and women's sports and things that the religion or the Christian religion were against and led to this. So that's what we've been talking about, and I'm just reading some comments. So for those who are just coming in a little later, I hope that helps out. Lance Twiggs turned over Tyler Robinson, who lived with in the 3-bedroom apartment. Tyler Robinson was a lover. Tyler Robinson was a Mormon, raised Republican, conservative, from a father who's a police officer, a mother a social worker. And I was just giving you my views on how hard it must have been. with unacceptable what he did, and Utah has the death penalty. But I'm just giving my perspective on exactly what was going through his head. Of course, we know mental illness, and in these chat rooms, all participated in this. And now we have 31-year-old Charlie Kirk, a father of 2 children, 2 very small, and a beautiful wife, Erica. So that's what we've been talking about. And we've been talking about it a lot this week, along with a lot of other YouTube channels. A lot of YouTube channels covering this. And, you know, you're going to get a lot of different views. So this is outside the jail, and that's where he's at right now. And you're going to get a lot of different views, and everybody's going to have their different view. Your partner, your wife, your husband, your kids, everybody's going to have their... And I don't think any of them's wrong, but I think one thing is wrong is taking somebody's life at an event that was holding 3,000. I encourage anybody who's suffering from serious depression, you know, reach out. Reach out to a loved one at any age. Reach out to your loved one. You know, reach out to your family doctor and get some professional care. You know it if you need it, and get some care. That means for any of us. And I think these chat rooms of transgenders, gays, Italians, black chat rooms, hillbilly chat rooms, whatever, you get the message, right? China, they really, I'm not saying to stop, but we got to be very careful how much we spend time and not get hypnotized. Is that good words? On that, particularly if you're young. Particularly when I say young, young is, you know, young, 18 to 25, 30. And not to say that people who don't visit chat rooms or none of everything I just said can commit a horrific crime. It can still happen. We've seen it in the 60s. We've seen Zodiac killers. We've seen it before. So we know it's there. But I just think we're going too far sometimes. I think we go a little too far. So hopefully that helped out anybody who just came on. Hey, thank you for 243 likes. Appreciate you guys being here. Hey, make sure you have a blessed Saturday. For those who, we're going to be doing a little something later on tonight. Make sure you have all notifications on. I'll read a few more comments here. The far right has yet to begin. Yeah, we also talked about Erica Kirk, who says her voice will be stronger now than ever. The wife of Charlie Kirk. As we're getting lots of rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Even, 3 days it's been already? 3-4 days? Kaylon, how are you? What's up, Mike Green? I have not been to Merlina's cheesesteak. I know Joey. I've not been there. I'm in Vegas right now. But when I get back to Philly, I'll be going to Joey's cheesesteak. Erica is a brave, but she's got to focus on repairing her family. From Turbo, a subscriber. Yes, I agree on that. Thank you, Mike. Yeah. Hello, Dominic. We're just going on the motive of what just happened on the lover, the transgender partner, lover, and who was involved in turning in the assassin. Lance Twiggs, transgender. Sorry for the noise in the background. I got people here coming in celebrating a birthday. They don't know I'm doing it live. What's up, Steven? UK, did I miss something in UK? I'm sorry. I've been keeping up with this lately. Did something happen in UK? Are you? Yeah, Mike. How'd you know? The pool, yes. Pizza, no. We're gonna have. My wife took me out. I don't want anything today. She's making meatballs, and so I mean that. For me, I just want to watch some football. Enjoy talking to you guys, spending time with the family. But she's making some meatball, Mike, and we're gonna go in the pool. Meatball and sausage and some spaghetti, and then in the pool because it's gonna start cooling down finally in Las Vegas. But that cheesesteak from Joey Merlino sounds damn good. Joey, if you're listening, Joey, send me a cheesesteak. Joey Merlino. Some great comments. I mean, some interesting comments. I'm not going to read them all. I might read this one though. That message was from Robert Marquez. Yeah. Send it to me. Black market goat cheese. Camping. I wanted to go camping, Mike. If it was up to me, that's where I should be. Camping with some hamburgers and sausage and peppers. Might do that one more time, Mike. Maybe next week. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for being here. The moderators have been here. We've been doing a lot of lives lately. Check your all notifications. I'll be live again tonight. Maybe we'll have a little cake together. Thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. I appreciate each and every one of you. It's not on notice for all the donations and all the love and like and subscribing. Checking out the shorts. We help out the homeless when we can on here. Motive, update information. You guys can decide on your thoughts. There's going to be a lot of YouTube channels talking about this, and I welcome you to check them out, get a perspective. One thing for sure, Charlie Kirk is not with us. In my opinion, he's looking down as an angel, and I just feel for kids that lose a parent that young. You know, I lost my father, and it's very hard. And we know one thing, that this Lance Twiggs, the transgender lover, or Tyler Robinson, I don't think that people should be hammering her for any of the crime, because he did turn him in or led to authorities. So at this moment, you got to say he's not involved, but we'll have to wait and see. And certainly the father and mother, or whoever, at this point, there's only one person who's responsible, and that's it. So tragedy hits again, and it won't stop until somebody is young to bring all together, not to always agree, Democrats, I said this before, but bring us together as Americans, and whether you support this or support that, don't have to support it, but don't ever take somebody's life or threaten anybody's life because of he or she and their views. And I think Trump is a way where he's actually making common sense in America. And I said this before, Trump's not perfect. I've called him out. But my goodness, he is trying to keep us safe. And it's a shame for those who don't like Trump. And I say to those, that's fine. But don't hate on the president or anybody else who's speaking the common sense. It's not about conservative or Democrat. And vice versa. If and same thing for Democrats sometimes that are getting treated disrespectful. I can't figure out the party right now, but we shouldn't disrespect them in a way to hate and develop hate in chat rooms, particularly young people, right? It has to stop. If you don't like Trump, then come up and be somebody to have values on what could be better than what Trump or Marco Rubio or J.D. Vance, our future, that can be better or presentable, like tariffs. What can work aside? If you're out there, I might even support that in the future. So I say to anybody who's young on the Democrat side, you could be that person. You can actually be that person to bring both sides together and work on issues. For an example, one more thing, healthcare, which no president, not one, has addressed except for George Bush and never went anywhere. Obamacare, and I'm just giving examples. I'm getting off topic. You, he or she, could be that person. And on the Republican side, it's not about being the next Charlie Kirk, because nobody can duplicate any of us. Nobody can be like him or her, but somebody can be spoken in different ways to reach both sides. And the hate has to stop 100%. And nobody should get hypnotized in these chat rooms because of he or she on what you disagree with somebody just speaking the word of love and the word of encouragement and religion. It just so happened didn't agree on certain of these transgenders and men playing in certain sports. I've never heard, my closing argument is this. I've never heard Charlie Kirk say he was against or hate. He never said that word. He was a religion, or Donald Trump. Okay, yes, they cussed Donald Trump, but never once. Now, are there people out there on the right who do this? Yes, but as far as political people, spokespeople, no. Never heard it. But I am hearing it from the Democrats. I've heard it from Elizabeth Warren and other people wishing some harm on the president and not really celebrating, Charlie Kirk but instead of celebrating. Oh, by the way, real quick, in TMZ, did anybody, real quick before I end this, guys, sorry, this is important. I had it in my notes. TMZ, that show, did anybody see what happened in TMZ? Harvey and the other guy, man, they could be in some serious trouble. I was giving them credit on how the cameras, they do a great job on all the camera set, getting all the news. They were, not Harvey, but some of the audience, did you see it? Yes. Patrick, they were covering the camera angles of Charlie Kirk. They were doing a good job up to, you heard some clapping. Like when they announced, when Donald Trump came on and said, we got some sad news, Charlie Kirk at age 31 has been confirmed now deceased on assassination. That's now assassination attempt. They said they were watching a speed chase in California. In California. There's speed chase every day in California. But it was a slow speed chase. And I know damn right well they weren't cheering because they didn't even catch the guy at the moment. But they're claiming they were applauding because they were getting close. Or maybe they did capture the person in the car. And it just so happened it happened at the same time that Trump said Charlie Kirk has been confirmed deceased. And they were applauding certain people in the background. And Harvey, the TMZ, whatever the hell that show called, that is bad. And let me tell you something right now. I've never watched it anyhow. And they're going to argue and continue to argue that they were cheering on the speed chase. Do you guys believe that? Yes or no? Do you believe TMZ was cheering about a speed chase? That they caught the guy? It wasn't like a speed chase like an O.J. Simpson. It wasn't a speed chase like breaking news, nothing was on. And even if it was, why would he be cheering? Stay with me. Why would he be cheering really loud? They did that. Oh, it was a live stream, like we're a live stream right now. They were cheering. Now, I'm not saying Charlie was or the other guy was. Or I don't know the other gentleman's name. But the people in the background were cheering. Ah! Oh, that upset me so bad when I heard that. Did anybody else see that? That was the worst of the worst. Yeah, I forgot to talk about that. You could tell they were lying. You can just tell that they were lying. They made a statement. Let me see what Mike said. I thought the TMZ said they were watching a police chase and that they were laughing and clapping because of that. Yeah, laughing, clapping. Yeah, Mike. In better words, Mike. Yeah, cheering. That yeah, that's what they claim. And they have evidence to prove it. Hold on. They showed video of that police chase. But I have a hard time believing it. I have a very difficult time. You know, I don't watch the show, but I have a hard time accepting that. I really do. They say, oh, it's just coincidence. Oh, was this bad? No, they said it was bad timing, Mike. Oh, it was just bad timing. We had breaking news on both. Breaking news on a speed chase that happens every damn day in California. Nobody got hurt, thank God. Nobody got hurt. I'm not encouraging speed chase. Stay with me. They weren't cheering for that. They were cheering because of what they thought of this new far left, some Democrats. That's what I think. Yeah, what's his name? Harvey Levin? Is that how you say it? He lied? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Richard. I will. Yeah. All right, guys. Yes, I'm going to take Richard's advice. I'm going to go eat. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Richard, Mike. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you possible tonight. Make sure you have all notifications on. Give some love out to the other YouTubers that you enjoy. If you enjoy their content, share some love and hit a like. I'll see you on the next live. TMZ is on Fox. Yeah, Jason. Hey, shout out to Jason. Thank you, Mike. I'm going to give you guys 1 minute. I'm going to go away to you guys to say goodbye, and then we're going to go off air. Once again, thank you for all the birthday wishes. I'll give you guys a minute to chat among each other, and I'm going to walk away, and then we're going to go off air. Thank you.